Alright everybody, welcome back to another video. I didn't want to make this video, but I know nobody want to hear me rant about this, so this is just going to be my opinions and throughout my gameplay of playing this game of what I'm going to be talking about what I have been experiencing this season and what I absolutely hate about it. Because I really do hate this Marvel Rival season because it honestly just sucks, man. Like, this Marvel Rival season sucks. Playing tank is horrible, unrewarding, and no longer as an avid tank man who's been doing this since launch. Mind you, I've always loved playing tank, y'all. Playing tank was the best role for me. In season 0, I mainly played Hulk. You know what I'm saying, y'all? I mainly played Captain America. If y'all go on my search history, I have 100+ hours on Captain America because that's who I only play. I like to play as some fun dive tanks, right? And so as seasons went on, with more and more DPS coming to the game, it just feels like a whole lot of death sentence because now DPS have so much high damage that playing any tank just feels like I'm getting shredded. Alright, like with the new addition to Cyclops, his overpowered kit and the fact that his damage output is insane, and dude, let's say I want to play someone like Groot. I'm finna get beamed by Cyclops and his beams over and over again, straight to the dome, and I'm gonna get melted every single time because of the high damage that these DPS are able to put on, right? And there's a couple sections I do want to talk about, and I got a script to my side right now that I'm taking notes of because I sectioned everything off what I want to talk about in order and how I want to format it. Alright, so next, like I'll mainly talk about nowadays. Tanks, they don't do much damage anymore, right? Compared to the heals that are being put out, compared to the heals nowadays, playing tank is no longer like fun, right? Because I'm not doing any damage. If you play someone like Strange and you wanna maybe, just maybe, use like your R1 for example, if you use it at 100%, you look around and notice that you did no damage to nobody. For some fact, they're going to get automatically out-healed, right? And it frustrates me for some fact. Why am I playing a role where I'm barely doing anything to provide for the team, right? Even if I'm making space, because I know that's what tanks are mainly meant for, making space, I still want to be able to contribute with helping dive the healers, dive the backline, because I do play dive tanks, by the way. Playing someone like Hulk, who's still doing 40 damage per M1, or if it's not that, playing someone like Magneto, his projectiles are so slow to the fact of you can instantly out-heal before the next projectile even comes out, right? Which makes this game, it just makes it seem like most tanks are not doing much damage. Tanks are constantly getting nerfed. With the nerf of Devil Dinosaur, one of the best things that we've had so far, and him immediately getting nerfed, I don't understand it, right? Because he was one of the best things that we had, and it's like every time we get a good tank, it always got to be gutted and made into another throw pick, right? Because playing Devil Dinosaur now, and Cyclops just released with all his damage, and you still got DPSs like not Luna. Like we still have DPSs like Phoenix, Punisher, Moon Knight, Cyclops, and if I play Devil Dinosaur into that comp, I'm throwing that game by playing Devil Dinosaur because he's a huge target, and that damage reduction does nothing when the DPS of this game already has a high damage output, right? And next, I would want to talk about the character balancing, right? Speaking of Cyclops, right, there's many other characters that I would want to talk about, right? But I want to talk about Cyclops, because Cyclops has been the main reason why I've mainly been hating this season, right? Because with Cyclops, he doesn't mainly have to aim. He's another brain rot character, but it's like, half of the time, you don't really need to aim because he has a burst shot. So if you miss the first shot, move your camera over to a little bit, and it will hit either way, right? His R1s literally bounce off walls behind walls, and it literally makes me mad because for the simple fact, if you want to kill him, he's just gonna run away. He's gonna run away and create distance. Playing melee characters against a Cyclops is basically throwing again, which not actually throwing if you're actually good and know what you're doing and count the cooldowns and stuff like that. Like you're playing Iron Fist. If he wants to back up, you can use your kick, shorten that distance easily. Or if it's not that, right, you can easily with his parry, when Isaac was parried, he easily parried it. You know what I'm saying? But another thing that I would like to talk about with Cyclops is for the simple fact they literally buffed his ultimate. They needed a whole desperate buff to his ultimate for the simple fact his ultimate was able to be blocked with shields, right? Now you can no longer block it with shields. His second burst shot, like the first, and there's like two initial shots. The first one, it was the straight line one. Then the second one, the explosions. You could have blocked the explosions and maybe survive with a little slimmer health. But they did a desperate update to make sure he managed to keep his damage up, even if you blocked it or not. So either way, blocking it did nothing. Right. The next thing I'm going to talk about has to be the healers. The healers this season. The healers for the past few seasons has been atrocious. It makes no sense to me. The two healers I want to talk about specifically that I hate with a passion has to be Luna Snow and White Fox. I don't understand how Luna Snow have gotten the buff that she's gotten, right? And White Fox has been underneath everybody's radar so far, right? But those two healers have been running down games if y'all have not been paying attention. A Luna Snow and a White Fox, and they have a team up together too. Those two healers are literally OP. Because what do you mean? White Fox, she literally benefits from being out of position. Because she can just instantly teleport back to her teammates. Or if you're playing a dive tank like Captain America, guess what? She's going to out-heal all that damage that you're putting out. If I want to play Hulk against a White Fox, guess what's going to happen? She's going to go to her melee form. She's just going to sit there and out-heal every single bit of damage. Right? You got to literally catch White Fox when she has no cooldowns. Right? And even then, you may be lucky and kill her. Because by the time she runs out of cooldowns, it's the time that her team is already about to kill you. Luna Snow. Her damage output has genuinely surpassed anything for this game. Because, for some fact, she could just heal herself. Just heal herself just by attacking because she could catch her Snowflake on you at any time. Right? Her Snowflake being able to 2-tap normal 250 HP enemies and stuff like that. Her freeze being the best CC in the game. And there's some supports out there that still can't even build themselves properly. Like Ultron. Ultron stayed getting nerfed for what? Like, what is the point of nerfing Ultron when Luna Snow is still here, out here doing numbers, killing, shredding tanks almost? Like, the damage that she could put on a normal Devil Dinosaur, you can even put her past even someone like Phoenix. She can surpass Phoenix if she wanted to. And what do you mean a normal 2-tap to the head can literally do that? I had to stop the clip for another match. Anyways, alright. Next thing I wanted to talk about, well, this is the same. Luna Snow having her damage. Her damage output, her and White Fox's damage outputs are insane to me. But it's in fact, White Fox doesn't even have to aim. She gets her ultimate every single 5 seconds. Her heals are just going to bounce off teammates, getting her ult charges way too quickly. Right? White Fox is a no-skill brain rot character, and I will take the criticism that y'all want to take against that, because they are literally letting that character benefit from making mistakes. Guess what? Oh, she gets dived because she wasn't with her teammates properly. She gets the melee form and she gets to get all the health back. And guess what? She's out of position. She's just going to teleport to her nearest tank and just get away with being out of position. Alright? I'm not saying that like you need a heal by, you know what I'm saying? Alright, because I would like a support the DPS because that will make the game way easier. Right? But it gets to a point where support mains complain about being dived by OP, OP DPS and stuff like that, like Daredevil, back at Prime Daredevil. They talked about him a lot, right? Him being able to do a lot of stuff. My thing is, right, most of the time, it wasn't even the fact of that. We had healers, if someone to get dope, they would sit there back away from their tanks, from their front line, and sit there and run away, and they'll say they're getting dope. Those are the same healers that will sit there and play White Fox, still die and complain. That's exactly what White Fox is meant for. The healers who constantly out of position, or who gets themselves out of position every time when things get tough inside the game. Right? It's something that I can't fathom. They're catering to supports who literally, basically, always out of position or don't know how to sit there and stay with the team when things get tough. Right? And Luna Snow's damage being how it is now, I still don't understand. Because it's still better than it's still better than most things in the game, y'all. No things can kill as fast as Luna Snow does with their normal kit. Right? Even with some of the ultimates, you cannot kill how fast Luna be killing with her normal snowfall and her primary M1. She don't gotta be using her crap, y'all. And mind you, she's getting healed off of this too. She's getting healed and bonus shield. If she lands that freeze on you, her best CC, if she lands that ice ball on y'all, you're finished. You're done. Because she's already getting shield on top of that and you're already frozen. She's easily 2-tap. And we're gonna complain about dive now. We're gonna nerf every single character besides the characters that need to be nerfed. Because people are complaining about normal issues that they can fix with their normal everyday regular game. Right? And I know that some people may have trashy teammates who won't pill and stuff like that. I understand and get that, right? But that shouldn't be a reason why you should make these supports OP and overpowered for no reason, right? You're making these like supports basically unkillable. Like these supports have cried their way to immortality, but some fact I cannot kill them. You know, if you try to fight a support main one-on-one with White Fox versus Hulk, White Fox will win. White Fox versus Thor, she might win that. If it's a good Thor player, Thor might win. But let it come down to it. White Fox will win that. Alright? Her kit, that kid with that one move where she can sit there and throw out the fox and bring the swords. If I'm playing Thing, or if I'm playing Cap and I'm just at their backline and I want to hop out, and of course I get controlled effect, which I don't know why she need that. It's her entire kit. I don't know why she needs that out of everything. But of course, they gave it to her for no reason, because they just want to. And that move right there, that just makes me mad, right? For the simple fact, why? Why? It's as Strange, if I'm playing Strange and all of a sudden, my shield breaks and I'm automatically into their whole entire front line getting shredded, because you already know how I said these DPS this season and the supports this season have abysmal damage. I can accept Rocket Raccoon having damage like that, because Rocket Raccoon, you know what, he the GOAT, you know what I'm saying? I used to play Rocket Raccoon a lot, and mind you, I used to DPS a little bit with Rocket Raccoon in the first place. Now, it has gotten to a point where it's too hard to ignore. Why do supports do more damage than tanks in some of these DPS? But that's gonna conclude this rant for me. I got another rant to kick in, because Dead by Daylight is also another game that I do want to talk about for the simple fact that's another game where it's completely utter dog shit, right? It's terrible. Alright, and I'm waiting for these next few updates to come out where they added new killer perks, new survivors. I want to see where Dead by Daylight is heading, and that's what I want to talk about on next rant. Alright, so we'll get there when we get there. Love every single one of y'all. Peace, love, goodbye.